think everybody agrees that we should be transitioning to renewable energy. It's absolutely the way of the future.
It's very important for future generations and our current generation.
If we have any hope of saving this planet, we must transition to renewable energy. But we have to be smart about it.
We have to be very cognizant and conscious about how we do it.
I think it's important that we are finding ways to transition to renewable energy in an intelligent way.
So es importante aprender más tocante este asunto.
But not all renewable energy is the same.
Not all approaches to renewable energy are the same.
There are a lot of different things to look at.
Some approaches might focus a little more on financial gain versus actual benefit to people who are consuming it.
I believe Santa Fe is facing a very big decision about renewable energy right now.
A massive decision right now.
And I think it's an important decision.
One that really impacts our entire city.
I am aware of the meaningful choice that Santa Fe is facing right now about alternative energy.
We're facing that choice now because
a large out-of-state corporation called AES,
who is applying for a permit from the county in the coming months to build like a massive solar battery storage facility.
This facility will be 680 acres just south of Santa Fe.
Think about how big that is.
Over a mile square.
So it's the size of 250 super Walmarts stacked next to each other.
Basically in the middle of 3 neighborhoods that house over 25,000 people.
And it's close to Santa Fe, it's close to El Dorado, San Marco, Rancho Viejo.
And they will put in 205,000 solar panels.
Over 500,000 lithium-ion batteries that will be housed in battery storage containers.
Although the design plans for this facility are only at 30% completion, the company is saying that the facility will look roughly like this.
And sometimes corporations will try to make something sound like it's renewable, but it's really not.
While they are calling it a solar project, it is in fact an industrial storage facility for lithium-ion batteries.
I think what they want to build is a giant battery facility.
A massive, massive battery plant.
And the thing that is really scary is that they're using these giant batteries that can catch on fire.
The major concern is fire.
These batteries have a history of bursting into flames.
What's called a thermal runaway event.
Lithium-ion battery fires are different than other fires.
The scary thing for me about these fires is they can't be extinguished.
These fires cannot be put out by any of the standard methods.
If a battery container catches fire, it cannot be extinguished by water or foam or anything else.
They don't go out. They have to burn themselves out.
One that can get out of control and burn for days, weeks.
There was a fire at a battery storage facility in Otay Mesa in California that burned for almost 2 weeks.
It took 40 firefighters to actually take care of that. We don't have 45 firefighters here.
In the last 5 years, AES has had 3 facilities with lithium batteries catch on fire.
They've had 2 in Arizona, Surprise and Chandler.
Most recently, a fire broke out in Escondido, California.
And they had to evacuate people. They had to evacuate 3 schools. They had to close down more than 500 businesses.
This was an industrial zone, not a place where there were homes.
And my brother and his family happened to live there.
And the fires released toxic chemicals into the air.
So that you end up with a plume of toxic material potentially for days.
Wherever the wind takes it.
And so my brother and his children are breathing in the toxic plumes that are being let out of that facility.
The toxic chemicals are called PFAS.
Hydrogen fluoride, carbon monoxide.
They're also known as forever chemicals, meaning you can't ever get rid of them.
I mean, it could be polluting our air with forever chemicals, and I have no clue how that will affect me and my family.
They do pour water on these fires.
They're actually not trying to put the fire out because they can't.
That's just to keep the containers cool so the other ones don't burst into flame.
But in the process, the firefighters have to use millions of gallons of water.
And all that time, that water that they're pouring onto it
could release PFAS chemicals into the groundwater.
And eventually end up in the aquifer.
You can't get that back out of the ground.
My well is connected to that aquifer, so I'm worried about fire safety at my home, and I'm worried about water and air quality.
It's just this sort of runaway situation which has no good end.
We already have this very issue in La Cienega.
Esta cosa que está pasando en la comunidad de la Cienega con la PFAS.
La Cienega and La Cieneguilla with PFAS in wells.
We were notified in November of 2023 that our water was contaminated.
38 times the lethal amount of PFAS in our water.
We were told that we were not to drink or bathe in that well water.
That's the reason we don't want it within our community. This company, AES, has a really bad track record.
They are in trouble everywhere they've gone.
AES has paid over $40 million in environmental fines.
Their environmental violations are very serious.
The reason AES pays these fines is because it's actually cheaper for them to pay than to do what's right in the first place.
And they've also had some serious accidents that have hurt local people, including firefighters.
But the violations don't stop. And that is something we should all really consider about the quality of this company.
Yeah, I don't think they really care that much about the safety of the community. This is about making money, and we are the ones taking the risk.
Just looking at the track record, do we want to be those guinea pigs?
Santa Fe may be stuck with a very bad company.
With a dangerous facility
that's going to impact the rest of us for 35 years at least.
So that's a whole nother generation.
Especially because young people like me, I mean, we're going to inherit this if it happens.
And take this big thing industrial facility in the middle of the community with all the risk and see our fire risk go up and see our property values go down and see our insurance rates go up.
It's just absolutely insane.
It just doesn't make sense.
If you listen to the county, it looks like this is our only choice.
For renewable energy.
AES is not our only choice. We have to make a choice, but we do not have to choose AES. There are other options for us.
There's a great alternative to a big corporation like AES coming into Santa Fe.
CEC has come up with a plan.
And it's called a distributed federated microgrid system.
The idea of distributed and federated microgrids is not new.
A much safer and much more reliable source of renewable energy because everything is distributed throughout the county and is not just focused in one place that can catch on fire.
I think the word federated in this context means that these little systems talk to each other. They function in a connected way.
A hospital can have its own microgrid. A home or a neighborhood can have their own microgrid.
The microgrid system distributed across the county would be much safer, as you have much smaller batteries.
I think something that's a smaller scale, that's more dispersed, is going to be inherently more reliable. One piece of that grid can go out without affecting the whole network.
Kit Carson Electric is building a smaller microgrid system now in the Taos area.
The microgrid system has been done before quite successfully. It was done recently in Taos. It's been done in Florida, Massachusetts, Puerto Rico. It's been done a lot of places, and it works.
And it's built for us.
We can push forward now with distributed and federated microgrids, and we can get them done.
We want solar, but we want it on a small scale. We want it on a human scale, not on an international industrial size scale that will do nothing but take away from our quality of life.
If there was one thing I would advise people to do is to wake up and get involved.
I just found out about this issue, and I'm not somebody who sticks my head in the sand. I can't believe this has sort of been going on under the radar for a long time.
So here's an opportunity to make your voice heard so that when decisions are made, you're part of that decision.
If you live in Santa Fe, it's important that you make your voice heard.
If you want to get more information about this, you should check out CEC's website.
The Clean Energy Coalition has a wonderful website. It lays out everything you need to know.
They have all the information you could want to see in one place.
If this is something that you want to get involved in, we have a petition that you can sign.
You'll be able to get our mailings if you want them.
You could donate money.
And you can get involved in other ways.
So, show up and have a voice.
CEC is an all-volunteer organization.
We are neighbors and residents of Santa Fe, just like you.
Many people that have been working tirelessly.
Who are concerned for our environment and for our health.
My name is Catherine Babbitt.
Brandy Coleman.
Victoria Mora.
Kay Cooper Mead.
Carlos Medina.
My name is Amrita Khalsa. I'm 15.
My name's Kimberly, and this is little William.
I am a retired attorney.
I'm an electrical engineer.
I am the president of the United World College USA.
And I have several degrees in library and information science.
I'm a sophomore at Santa Fe High School.
I live in El Dorado.
I live in Santa Fe.
I live in Cerrillos.
I live in La Cienega.
But most importantly, you can make sure that your voice is heard.
Because right now,
And right now, Santa Fe, we have a choice.
But if we don't speak up,
But if you don't let your voices be heard,
If you don't become part of making this decision, the decision's going to be made for you.
si vives en Santa Fe, es muy importante que uses su voz. Porque si no, ellas y también el gobierno, ellos van a decidir qué va a pasar, no tú.
The county and AES are going to make that decision for you.
And are you going to be happy with that?